What they're experiencing right now caught them completely off guard, and the discomfort is just beginning. They planned for freedom. They anticipated relief. They imagined your absence would dissolve into the background like white noise. Instead, it amplified. Initially, it appeared as a subtle gap, a blank space where your energy once existed. Then, ordinary situations felt strangely hollow. Now, complete disorientation. Missing you defied their strategy entirely. They assured themselves of sufficient resilience to depart. They assumed recovery would arrive swiftly. Distance equaled liberation in their calculations. Except reality operates differently. Certain bonds don't shatter loudly. They linger, reverberating through consciousness. When accessibility to your presence vanished, their subconscious began reconstructing moments the conscious mind had dismissed. Perhaps you've sensed unusual energy shifts. Perhaps your gut instincts have intensified. Perhaps your stillness carries more weight than conversations ever managed. What's unfolding wasn't in their blueprint. Let's examine why. First, the illusion of certainty. Departure brought conviction, not from genuine understanding, but because conviction often masks fear, ego, or emotional shutdown. They rationalized the choice. Leaving signified evolution. Disconnection demonstrated power. Those initial weeks validated the narrative. Authority felt real. Composure seemed intact. Vulnerability appeared conquered. Social circles heard confident declarations. Distractions multiplied. Activities, patterns, substitutes. Belief felt authentic, temporarily. Here's the flaw. Confidence constructed on escapism eventually crumbles. The overlooked reality. Your role transcended mere companionship. You functioned as emotional stabilization. Your presence anchored their volatility. Your focus calmed internal turbulence. Your reliability established psychological security they never verbalized. Removal triggered biological alarm, not celebration. Rationalization attempts emerged immediately. Justifications cycled. Inevitable conclusion, necessary separation, future improvement. Yet physiology contradicts mental gymnastics. Agitation surfaces gradually. Rest becomes fragmented. Happiness feels diluted. Nothing provides genuine absorption anymore. Unexpected triggers multiply. Melodies previously ignored. Locations deliberately avoided. Inexplicable moments where everything appears acceptable, yet fundamentally incomplete. Descent begins subtly, not theatrically, but profoundly disturbing. Missing you violated their expectations entirely. Second, when quietness reveals truth. Silence deceives initially. Liberation seems tangible. Communication ceases. Emotional navigation ends. Obligation disappears. Yet silence exposes what commotion concealed. Your withdrawal created transformation, internally rather than externally. Reaction was anticipated. Explanation, pursuit, emotional demonstration. Your refusal created cognitive dissonance. Silence compels self-examination, devastating for those departing without resolution. Doubt infiltrates thinking. Second-guessing intensifies. Evaluation errors surface. Absence weighs heavier than presence ever registered. Obsessive wondering emerges. The psychological mechanism? Your silence recalibrated perceived worth. Not through manipulation, but through unavailability. Emotional access vanished. Warmth, validation, investment. Guarantees transformed into losses instantaneously. Memory reconstruction begins. Imperfections fade. Emotions dominate. Your laughter, steadiness during crises, intuitive comprehension without words. Recognition arrives quietly yet powerfully. Replaceability was fiction. Uniqueness was reality. Third, the spiral into panic. Panic arrives disguised as innocent curiosity. Checking begins. Your presence, activity, energetic signature. Not for reconnection initially, but for ego reassurance regarding continued relevance. Discovery of irrelevance deepens crisis. True terror emerges from specific observations. You didn't fracture. Collapse never materialized. Desperation remained absent. Emotional dissolution didn't occur. Quietness emerged alongside wholeness. This signals danger to their unconscious processing. Recovery is progressing. Progress indicates autonomy. Autonomy threatens perceived influence. Influence loss activates primal anxiety. Internal conflict intensifies. Pride versus remorse. Outreach desire versus rejection fear. Longing versus accountability avoidance. Intuitive connection strengthens here. Dreams manifest. Sensing their turmoil without logical explanation feels real, not fantasy. Unresolved energetic resonance seeking completion. Profound connections don't evaporate cleanly. Suppression guarantees resurgence. Fourth, the miscalculation. Missing you defied predictions because connection comprehension failed entirely. Love seemed performative. Attachment appeared dramatic. Significance required obviousness. Your influence operated differently. Stability increased. Disorder became manageable. Emotional tempests became survivable. Departure eliminated the reflection, showing their gentler aspects. Psychological research confirms this pattern. Regulation creates attachment, not entertainment. Replacement strategies malfunction. Distractions prove ineffective. Time fails erasure. Connection transcends proximity. It's about neurological imprinting. Your mark remains permanent. Fifth, your awakening matters most. This narrative doesn't center their potential return. It illuminates your emergence. Departure didn't diminish your value. Authenticity revealed it completely. Memorability emerged naturally, not strategically. Their panic carries zero obligation. Regret belongs entirely to them. Realization confirms everything. Excessive intensity was never your problem. Genuine presence in an avoidant culture was. Whether contact resumes becomes irrelevant. Power already transferred. True transformation occurs when their opinion stops mattering. Understanding your significance only after losing access isn't devastating, it's evolutionary. Current panic stems from lessons absence teaches that presence couldn't. Remember, fundamentally, healing proceeds independently of their awareness. Peace doesn't require their reappearance. You embodied the teaching. You reflected truth. You catalyzed transformation. Certain connections don't circle back. Liberation becomes their legacy. Receiving this message now wasn't coincidental. Subscribe to Psychology Wisdom for profound emotional intelligence, intuition-guided revelations, and soul-level authenticity. Like this video, comment your thoughts, and share. Your experience might validate someone's journey today.